Good evening. Tonight I'm here with Tris and Matt from the Sheffield-based originals duo Huntsman to ask them a few questions to get them to know a little bit more about themselves and also about their exciting debut single that is due for release soon. So boys, welcome to the session.
Good evening.
Evening.
Hello.
Start off with a nice easy one for you. Huntsman, your acoustic duo. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, I think it's started last September. Little acoustic session you were doing locally for driving up some new.
It was a solo thing, yeah, and I kind of wanted a guitarist to help me do a little bit of acoustic stuff, and took out a Lonely Hearts ad column in local paper, and Matt kind of showed up. And I've been trying to get rid of him ever since, and it's just it's really not working. So we decided, well, if I can't get rid of him, then I may as well join him. But no, we worked really well together when we did the first show, and we decided to sort of share our passion for music and original stuff and sort of get together and do some sort of like original material, and it's kind of come from there really.
I can't add any more to that.
Right, let's move on to the next question. Tris, you said it there yourself, and I've got to agree with you from the few times that I've seen you perform. You and Matt work really well together. Why do you think that is?
Thin, fat, and we make up like two men by sharing weight.
I think to be honest, it's because we're both idiots.
We like to have a bit of fun, don't we?
We do like to have a bit of fun. I think we sort of maybe share the same passion. We work very well. We feed off each other on stage. We've both got the same interests, and it's kind of one of those things where it's sort of easy working with Matt. I've been in bands before where it's quite difficult. It takes a long time to sort of get everything together, but working with Matt, it just kind of fits sort of like perfect. So I think that's probably why we work so well together. We feed off each other really well on stage.
I suppose as well.
I cock up, he cocks up, and
we both want to create the same kind of music.
Yeah, definitely.
We've both got that
same
ethos,
idea,
same drive, same style of music. We're not bothered about whether we do a rock song or a pop song. We're happy to just go with the flow.
We've kind of got our own style, which we've kind of brought together, and we both sort of like bring individual styles into it, and it's quite nice. It's quite easy.
So you wouldn't pigeonhole your duo into any particular genre?
Not yet.
Not at
all. I think
all.
we're just trying to get a feel for what we want to do.
Yeah, I think we've got sort of like our own unique sound that we've developed. Obviously, we're playing on. Obviously, I'm more rock vocal orientated, and you're kind of, I would say, kind of like bluesy, folky style guitar with what you like to play. But we've kind of brought that together, and I don't think we've really got a particular style as yet. I think we're still feeling our way with where we definitely want to sort of go. But I do think we have sort of like our own little quirky style with sort of like the acoustic style, I think.
Well, lighten it up a little bit. We had a bit of a session on your Facebook asking some of your already fans for some questions.
Woo!
So I'll just throw
God.
one in there for you to lighten it up a little bit. You're talking there about working well as a team. And one of the best teams that work together are the Muppets. So one of your out there fans wants to know, if you could be any Muppet, which Muppet would you be?
Justin Bieber, because he's the biggest Muppet of them all. Would you be Harry Styles?
No, I've not got the figure.
You've not
I've
got the hair either, really.
No, it's not long enough, it's not shaggy enough, so I go with Cookie Monster because I like my food.
Have you got an impression of the Cookie Monster
No.
you could give us?
I'm not giving you a Cookie Monster impression.
Go on.
No.
No. Well, I'm going to say Justin Bieber. That's my answer, and I'm sticking
Are
to
you going
it.
to give us a Justin Bieber impression?
I can't sing that.
Please don't.
I can't sing that bad.
If you
Plus,
do,
we don't
I'm
want
going
people hating
to
us.
throw
either.
you out of this room, even though it's...
No, but if I have to be serious, I'll probably say Animal, because I like making noise.
Yeah, banging stuff.
Yeah, loads of noise. Which one would you choose?
I think I'd be Gonzo.
Why? Is it because you've got a massive nose?
That's rather rude for the interviewer.
Well, she's giving it to us, it's only fair I give it back.
Slightly dippy with an undercurrent of intelligence.
See, that's how we should have answered that question.
Moving swiftly on, back to your band. Obviously, if you look at the current music streams that are out there at the moment, there aren't very many duos that are acoustic doing the sort of stuff that you do. So what makes you think you could actually be a success in the industry today?
I think if you sort of like look, yeah, it's a good question. But I think if you sort of like look back through sort of like history of like the last 50 years, there's been some massive duo acts, and you're right, there aren't any out there, I don't think, at the minute. So I think one of the good things is obviously it's quite a niche there to actually, you know, we're doing something that nobody seems to be doing at this moment in time. And I think with the unique sound that we're kind of developing, because it is different to what anybody else has out there, in the fact that we, you know, we sort of like to be able to actually perform live the same sound with the same sound and quality and same, you know, ethos as we do in the studio. There's no point being one way or the other, it has to sort of match. So I don't see why it wouldn't work.
No.
There's a niche there, and it was actually quite funny because when we were recording our single, which I'm sure you'll want to talk to us about later on, because we're really excited to talk about that. Come on, get onto it. But no, when we were recording that, our studio technician Phil actually said we actually remind him and sound a little bit like Savage Garden, but without the sort of like the electro kind of influence that they had. And we were actually really chuffed with that. I think he thought it was going to be a little bit of an insult, but we were like, yeah, they were huge when we were growing up. So as long as we're not like sort of like H and Claire type of duo.
But I mean, you know, there's been some, like you said, some good ones. Proclaimers, Simon and Garfunkel. They've all, I suppose, whether they've been family or people are very similar in taste, they've always worked well. And we hope that obviously, because we work really well, we'll bring some form of, I don't know, subtlety and freshness to music that's around now that those other duos did when they came out in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and we'll do something hopefully for the for the next couple of years where we can do the same, liven up that scene and maybe make a mark.
So, obviously we've talked about you doing original stuff. Where do you see your duo Huntsman going in the next 12 months?
I don't think we're really expecting it to sort of go anywhere. I think pretty much more of the same. There's certainly no expectations from us as to where, you know, we want to go and where we want to be. I think it's just a case of going with the flow, hoping, you know, that we make some kind of a mark with what we're doing. I mean, we've been doing it a long time, doing a lot of different stuff. So this is quite a new project. I think, you know, it'd be nice to think that, you know, we've got a few more followers and, you know, we're still able to continue doing what we're doing now. Maybe with a few naked ladies, beer and beaches and sports cars throughout.
In your dreams, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think we want to enjoy what we've got, enjoy, I suppose, getting ourselves out there, playing some music that people might have heard in a certain way that they've not heard before, or, you know, we create some songs where people are really interested and we get people talking. I suppose, Trish said it best, making a mark. I think that's probably the biggest thing we want to do, and I don't know, we can't really say where we're going to be in 12 months because
not really, no.
We don't know. We don't know how far we've come in 6 months since we started talking about the band, and
I don't think we expected to get this far, did we? Really? I think it's kind of gone on very quickly.
It's a good question, but I wouldn't know where to start because it could go anywhere.
It could. I think it's just a case of going with the flow. I mean, every musician would love to actually obviously record their own material. And I think I would be so dead chuffed if in 12 months' time we were actually still doing this, and we'd obviously had a couple of songs which were out that we could go and do a gig, and people, if somebody was singing along to one of our songs, I think that would be, you know, possibly one of the best experiences as a musician you can have. And I think that's where, you know, we're aiming to go. Obviously we're aiming to move forward and to push Huntsman as far as we can, but it's a case of seeing where it goes, I think.
Okay, let's have another fan question in there then from your Facebook page. One of your fans wants to know, what 3 things, if you could only live with 3 things for the rest of your life, what 3 things would they be?
That's an hard
3
question.
things.
We could go really daft. I'm not going to go daft. Guitar.
I'd second that one. I think that's one of my choices. Don't think I could give up my guitar.
Real ale. Even though it'd be hard to brew it on my own if I were the only person on the planet. And Yorkshire pudding. I'll go with that.
I hate you. I honestly hate you, because I've had to go gluten free, so I'm not allowed to actually eat Yorkshire pudding or drink real ale, and I like both. So I'm going to be really, really boring and a little bit cliche and say I wouldn't be able to live without my guitar, my missus and my dog.
In that order?
That's a good point. Maybe I should actually put my missus first, because she's likely to kick my ass, isn't she? So, well done for sticking up for my missus there. She'll probably thank you later.
So let's turn things now towards your debut single. I know you're really excited to talk about that, and I'm really lucky to have heard a sample of your single, which you've titled You're Beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic in my opinion, but I'm a little bit interested to know how the song came about.
I think that's probably one for me, isn't it?
Yeah, since you wrote it.
It's it's quite an interesting and exciting thing to obviously be releasing a single, but it all sort of came about because myself and Matt have a very close mutual friend who is actually currently undergoing treatment for an eating disorder. We've sort of seen and experienced along with her sort of like all the challenges and struggles and the suffering that she's gone throughout the course of this illness. And I think we were both a little bit surprised by sort of like the devastation that these conditions can actually obviously impact on people's lives so much, and just how ill it actually made her. And I think the big surprise for us was when obviously she started going into her therapy and started getting treatment, etc., how difficult it was to actually get into that treatment, and obviously the stigma that's actually attached socially to eating disorders. And I wanted to actually write a song which could actually be used for the benefit of actually helping sufferers and people that have gone through it, and sort of like just having some kind of an impact and making some kind of an impact on that area of sort of like eating disorders and stuff. So set about writing a song which could actually be used to actually help people maybe understand what it's like to suffer on a day-to-day basis with an eating disorder. And that had obviously its own horrible challenges, to obviously not take it too far. I think the first song that I wrote was quite metal orientated and quite angry, and very quickly learned that probably actually wasn't the best avenue to go down. So what we've ended up with is obviously a song which is going to be released, obviously hopefully give people an indication of how it feels on a day-to-day basis to struggle with the mental side of an eating disorder. So it's something everybody can sort of relate to, but also a song kind of hope as well, I guess, in the fact that people are there for you if you are going through it, and just something that was relatable to most people. So that's sort of like how it came about. We're just sort of like really chuffed that we managed to do it and carry it through. It's been possibly one of the longest songs to be written that I think I've ever done. It's taken a while to get it right, and lots of back to the drawing board, but yeah, pleased to say we're pretty much there. So that's how it came about. Sorry, that was like going via Scotland to get to Barnsley.
You kind of answered my second question there about the concept of the song. You kind of talked about it being about raising awareness and about sufferers being able to relate to the song so they can feel less alienated within society. And the lyrics are also very, very powerful. You've mentioned before that you're going to do it for charity. So which charities have you chosen to do them for, and why have you chosen those charities?
Well, we've actually chosen 2 eating disorder charities, and both charities will be getting an even split of every penny that's raised from the sale of this single. So every single penny that's raised is actually going to be going to the 2 charities we've chosen. Ones we've chosen are the National Charity for Eating Disorders, which is called BEAT. We chose that one because they were actually very, very pivotal and possibly the first point of contact in actually helping our mutual friend actually get help and the support and the treatment that she needed. So we're incredibly grateful for that, because without putting too fine a point on it, they were the first point of call and pretty much probably saved a life, I think. So obviously they're the national charity for it. They help people on a daily basis with obviously a support line and stuff. So we wanted to obviously help them, as well as making people aware that they exist, because that's going to be the point of reference. And the other one, we also wanted some of the money to not only go nationally but also stay locally, because we are South Yorkshire lads, we're Sheffield lads. So we wanted some benefit to go locally as well, instead of it getting absorbed just into the national side of it. So we chose the local eating disorder charity, which is called SAIDA, which is the South Yorkshire Eating Disorder Association, which again are the ones which are responsible for helping people get treatment and carrying out that treatment for those suffering with eating disorders within the South Yorkshire area. So they're the 2 charities that we chose, BEAT and SAIDA, and they're the reasons why we've chosen to help them.
Fantastic. Well, I think the song and the causes behind it are absolutely brilliant. So I'm just dying to know, when is your single actually out? When can I buy it in the shops? And how can I buy it? Will it be in the shops?
I reckon it'll probably be the second Monday in December.
That's sort of where we're aiming for now. We know it's definitely going to be out in December. We're just waiting for the retailers to all obviously confirm their timescales for how long it's going to be, because obviously when you're releasing a single you want all of the retailers to actually release it at the same time. So we're looking at possibly the second week in December, ideally. Hey, you never know, Christmas #1.
You never know.
Where can we get it? How much will it be?
Can we challenge the X Factor?
Where are we getting it from? I don't know.
Where are we getting it from? It's going to be available from pretty much all online music retailers, so your iTunes, your Amazons, all that kind of stuff.
And it's 99 pence.
It will be 99 pence. We want to try and keep the price low so that it's affordable for everybody.
Yeah.
And providing all the internet retailers agree to that, because it is lower than what they normally do it for. Providing they all agree to that, it will be 99p from anywhere.
So watch this space.
Watch this space.
Your Facebook site, your web page for all the details.
And Twitter.
And Twitter.
Yeah.
And Twitter. Don't forget Twitter. So another fan question then, to break it up a little bit. You guys talked a lot about when you're performing and the kind of business that you're kind of working in at the moment. When you're not doing all that side of things, how do you chill out?
I beat him up.
Tries to.
Beat him up.
Tries to.
He'll never admit it, but I do. What do we do to chill out? I think we're pretty much just normal lads, aren't we? Nothing really special. Spending time with the family and stuff like that. I think for me, I like I play rugby when I can. I enjoy MMA, obviously mixed martial arts, and playing my music and stuff like that. You like dangling a little maggot in water and catching fish.
I like fishing, playing guitar.
Bird watching.
That's
not the bird watching you're thinking of.
Photography.
I like my photography. I like to paint. I enjoy doing a bit of gardening. Anything really that just lets you just wind down and turn the brain off and
nothing really.
Enjoy yourself. Just you can't plough everything into
I think people
working and everything
that's
else.
it. I think people seem to think that being in a band or whatever is all parties and rock and roll, and in truth it's nothing like that at all. And you can go down that side, but I think we're just not really party animals. We're a little bit crazy and like to think we're funny and stuff, but we're just pretty normal, down to earth lads doing normal stuff really. So sorry to disappoint. We're not overly
something more exotic.
Yeah.
That leads me on well to my next question. As you guys have said, you're normal guys. There's no record label behind you or anything like that. So how are you actually funding this single, considering that it's going to be for charity, you're not going to be seeing a penny of it? How does the funding work for that?
Out of our pockets. That pocket and that one there.
That one, just a no mugging, because you know where I keep it. No, we're actually self-funding this one. We're doing it through our own record label, which we're going to set up, and obviously we're paying for the whole recording process, the whole release, everything. That's coming straight out of our pocket. We're not taking a penny back from it. That's kind of the reason why we wanted to obviously do it. Not a penny. No money is going back into our pockets from it. Every single penny raised will be going to the charities. I know probably a lot of people are probably going to be saying, well, why didn't you just give the money to charity instead of obviously going through the whole writing a single and stuff? But I think the most important thing for us, it's not all about the funds raised, is it? It's more, the more important thing for us is changing that social stigma that is actually attached to eating disorders. And actually, by releasing a single and getting obviously people out there, we hope that we can obviously get enough people to buy it to actually catapult that single into sort of the mainstream media, and obviously get people talking about it. And if we can get people talking about it, we can start to challenge people's opinions of eating disorders, and hopefully make things a little bit easier, bring things to the forefront so that it's easier for sufferers to actually get help, and not be attached with that social stigma that's there at the minute. So yeah, self-funded.
Fantastic. So, as I've said before, I've been looking up to hear clips of this single. It sounds absolutely fantastic. But are you going to be shooting a video for it so I can see what I'm hearing?
Yes, in short, and this is where we will need your help. We're hoping to be shooting a video in the next month or so, maybe next couple of months. and we're wanting to get people involved in that video. Hopefully, if people have suffered from an eating disorder, know people that have, or you're currently suffering from an eating disorder at the minute, or maybe you've recovered, or any form of real mental health really, we want to hear from you and want to try and get you involved in the video. We have a concept which involves quite a lot of people, and we want to obviously make it happen and get the people that this single is for involved in it. But yes, we are shooting a video that will be going with the single, so you'll be able to watch it on Vivo, and you'll also be able to watch it on YouTube and have to wait 5 seconds to cancel that annoying ad that keeps coming up. We might even do our own ad just to annoy people.
Yeah, just like me sat there going,
naked.
no.
I like to get naked.
You always have to lower the tone.
I know.
So obviously I've heard You're Beautiful and listened to the Huntsman at a few of your gigs. If I only had to listen to one band for the rest of my life, it's obviously going to be you guys. But your fans want to know, if you only had to listen to one band for the rest of your life, who would that be?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Who would it be?
All those bands.
We've both got quite varied taste in music, haven't we? We both listen to quite a lot of different stuff.
I'm gonna go with them. Def Leppard.
See, mine's a toss.
Awesome. Just and the legendary, because they're local as well.
Mine's a toss up between the Sheffield legends Def Leppard and Queen, because I am a massive Queen fan.
Both two good cracking rock bands. So I'll not let you off with that one.
I'm going to go with Queen just to be different.
Okay.
Sorry guys, from Def Leppard.
So Def Leppard, Queen.
And seeing as we'd actually, kind of be together most of the time anyway, we can share music, so we get the best of both worlds.
I'll give him a tiara to wear.
Lie.
Okay, fabulous. We're going to take one more fan question now because it fits quite nicely into some of the bands that you've mentioned throughout your interview so far. There's a game show on TV called Snog, Marry, Avoid. So our fans want to know, your fans want to know, if you had to snog, marry and avoid Justin Bieber, One Direction and Ollie Murs, who would you do what to?
Oh, avoid One Direction.
Yes,
there's like
avoid.
4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, so, you want to marry or snog it at 5 of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that'd be quite difficult. So it's got to be avoid One Direction.
Yeah. And then I'd probably marry Justin so that I can divorce him and take his money and feel that like sheer glory.
Now the question is, once you've married him, in order to divorce him, would you kill him first?
No, I'd just kick him at balls. I think that's enough deserved from all this crap. You don't need to kill him. Just leave him as he is.
And then, do I have to say it? I'd snog Ollie Murs. I'd snog Ollie Murs.
Good choice.
It'd be like snogging myself, wouldn't it?
Good choice. Moving swiftly on from there. As we've been throughout the interview so far tonight, you've mentioned how you like to record, so with the same sort of sound as you produce live.
Yeah.
Why would you say that is?
I think we both, probably the last few questions about the likes of Justin Bieber and One Direction probably go somewhere towards that, in the fact that we both being musicians, we like musicians, you know what I mean? And we don't like that manufactured side of the music industry, and there's too many acts and bands out there that you hear the track on the radio and you think, yeah, that sounds great, and then when you actually go and see them live, it sounds nothing like the track. Whereas we're kind of purists really, and we like to think that people that are coming to our shows will actually get to hear the same thing that they hear on obviously the radio or when they're listening to our music, and we make sure that we record our tracks in the same way. If we can't replicate it on stage, it doesn't get included within.
Yeah. There's too many bands using auto-tune and too many backing tracks. There's too many bands rely on sounds that they can't produce live without having laptops and boxes kicking it out through their amps.
There's only 2 of us, obviously. So
yeah, I don't like the idea. And then I suppose the good thing is, because we do it live and we want to make that sound every time, is every time he comes here, the track might slightly sound different, because I don't know, the guitar's sounding slightly different, or Triss's voice is sounding slightly different, or his drum pattern on his cajon's different, or my strumming pattern on my guitar's different. So every time you see it, it's slightly different, but it's the same song that everyone can relate to. It's just that I suppose it gives it something unique instead of something that's just generic over and over and over and over again.
It's fantastic ethic to have. And very refreshing, as you say, in today's music industry. So obviously I wish you all the best with your single, but you have mentioned that you have been recording other things as well and writing other things. Yeah. So from this, can your fans and potential new fans out there look forward to an upcoming album or an EP to download after the single's released?
I think definitely. We've got enough material there, which is written, and we're starting to record that already. We had planned on an EP, which we're hoping to get out there early part of 2016. Obviously, once the singles gone, because obviously the singles for charity, we didn't want to obviously impact on that. So there will be an EP and hopefully an album as well. So yeah, fingers crossed we're not going anywhere just yet.
Fabulous. Right, before we end, I've got 5 more fan questions for you that have come through that we haven't had time to fit in. So damn. I want it literally quick fire answers, no thinking.
From both of us.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. So Marmite, love or hate?
Hate.
Both of you hate it?
Hate it.
Interesting. What's your favourite flavour jelly bean?
Apple sours.
Oh.
Come on, go rapid fire.
Blueberry. I don't know why. It's blue.
Those people watching this old enough to remember, there used to be a TV show on Channel 4 called Friends. If you guys could be a Friends character, which Friends character would you be?
Chandler. You'd be Rachel. No.
Shut up.
Phoebe. No.
Shut up. I'd be Ross. Don't know why. I suppose probably because he's a bit of a nerd.
And he had
got good hair.
And he had a monkey. And you've got a monkey. Look, show him your monkey.
Where?
It's your monkey.
You
brought it with you.
Oh, my monkey.
Yeah.
I have a monkey.
This is all because we were actually going to do this in costume, just doing our interview, but we weren't.
I was going to wear that,
but we weren't allowed. I was going to wear a mankini, but they wouldn't.
So there's my monkey.
I can see the Ross in that. Yeah, we're getting off subject now.
You are getting off subject. Last 2 questions. Have you always wanted to be musicians? If not, what was your dream job as a child?
Stripper.
Astronomer.
As a child?
Yeah, no.
I always wanted to be an astronomer. Don't know why, I just like looking into space.
I initially wanted to be a pilot, then I realised I couldn't see bugger all without glasses, and that wasn't going to happen. So then I wanted to be an actor, and then I found singing and ended up a musician. So.
And final question, if you could be a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Barney. Everybody loves Barney. Come on. As if it's going to be anything else but Barney.
Stegosaurus. Because he's big and powerful.
Barney. He's purple. Everybody loves a purple dinosaur.
And you sing along to him.
And you can sing along to him. Come on.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. I'd rather be dinosaurs off the dinosaur programme when you were a kid. Not the mama. Exactly, that one. I'd be the baby because he was just funny.
He was awesome.
Fantastic.
What dinosaur would you be?
What dinosaur would I be? I think I'd be a brachiosaurus.
Why?
Because they're elegant dinosaurs.
She's got this all wrapped up, hasn't she? She's got an answer for everything.
Like Diplodocus. Fat and got a long neck.
Or a T-Rex, the most sexually frustrated dinosaur ever.
On that note, maybe it's a good thing that we end it there. Thanks for your time tonight, boys.
Cheers, thank you.
Hopefully, good luck with the single. Hopefully it'll get somewhere and earn a lot of money for your chosen charities and help to raise awareness. Yeah. Any feedback on the single? I'm sure if people put it on your Facebook page, go through Twitter,
definitely.
go through your website. Any interesting gigs come to yourselves as well?
We do have quite a few. We're doing a little tour of Sheffield.
Got the Cremone on the 18th.
On the 18th of September.
Yeah. Maynardvale on the 1st of October.
Yep.
And the Green Room, I think, the 21st of October.
Yes, I believe it is.
And then we've also got a couple of gigs in the couple,
Yep, a couple of local gigs for us. So I think there's 5 or 6 in. They're all on the website as well and all on the Facebook page. So yeah, come along, see us, say hello, give us a hug, and free hugs. Free hugs at all Huntsman gigs.
Free hug with a pint.
For you?
For me.
I just take the free hugs because I'm cheap.
Sounds like a good deal to me. And on that note, it's good night from me.
Good night.
Good night from us.
Good night, peeps.
Good night.